What's up everybody? Today I will be reviewing Rastalabs Red Team Lab. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the family. It contains content for people who want to learn ethical hacking. So if you're a student or a cybersecurity enthusiast who want to start a career in InfoSec, you will find plenty of content here. So go ahead and subscribe to get notified whenever I publish a new content. Those who are following me lately know that I've been recently focusing on red teaming. My journey started with Active Directory hacking because so many companies use it. And I have recently passed the PACES exam. It stands for Pentester Academy Certified Enterprise Security Specialist. I know, it's a mouthful name which basically means you know how to hack Active Directory stuff. I'm not claiming I'm a guru in Active Directory hacking. You know, there is always more to learn, but I think I know the basics. Anyways, I did all the course in PowerShell and experimented a bit with Covenant, which is a C2 framework. C2 stands for Command and Control, and it's basically a server that compromised machines call to fetch commands to run and return the results. Unfortunately, my lab expired before getting the chance to try Cobalt Strike, which is yet another well-known C2 framework. I asked their team for an evaluation version, which you get for free for 30 days, but the process took longer than I expected, so I never got the chance to try it on the GCB lab, which stands for Global Central Bank Lab, and it comes with the PACES certification. So after passing the exam, I thought I'd take a break. Forget about computers and spend more time relaxing and gaming. I've been spending my time playing Ghost of Tsushima, so far I like it. Let me know if you do or don't in the comments below. Meanwhile, the hacker voice inside me wanted to try Cobalt Strike after all. With all its red teaming features, it's tempting. So I looked on the internet for an entry-level red teaming lab to focus more on the tools and the tradecraft, and less on the actual hacking techniques themselves. And by tradecraft, I mean, you know, setting up reliable red teaming infrastructure, short and long haul team servers, crafting phishing emails to get initial foothold while bypassing antivirus, moving laterally using known techniques already built into Cobalt Strike without raising alerts, you know, the good stuff. And if you don't understand the jargon, don't worry, it's not really the premise of this video. I just want to lay the ground and the context as to why I chose Rastalabs. And it took me some discipline to get off of the gamepad and keyboard and start preparing this new video, so I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe to this channel. So after some research and discussions with fellow hackers, I settled on Rastalabs, which is Red Team Level 1. So here I am on Hackthebox, and if you go to Labs and ProLabs, you'd find plenty of labs here, and one of them is Rastalabs. If you go to Overview, you can see that it's marked as Red Team Operator Level 1 with an intermediate difficulty and 15 machines. In the description it says it's a startup provider of IT security and penetration testing services. That's the company. Our consultants offer expertise, flexibility, and extensive support before, during, and after each engagement. Rastalab is an ISO blah 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 certified organization committed to providing unparalleled service in the bragging about security is our concern. But what I wanted to show you here is why it is qualified as a Red Team Operator Level 1. Its purpose is to hone your offensive tradecraft with the Red Team Operator Level 1 lab, from getting a foothold and establishing situational awareness to exploiting interactive users and living off the land. This will put your skills to the test. Great! It seems like the perfect candidate for me. I don't want to spend time learning about new hacking techniques, and at the same time I just want to apply what I already learned using Cobalt Strike. So I purchased it knowing that I must finish it within a month because I really need some holidays. I feel just exhausted. So I quickly set up a virtual machine and used it to connect to the lab with the OpenVPN package I downloaded from Hackthebox dashboard. So in the Rastalabs page, you can click on this area here, which says connect to Rastalabs with VPN or PON box, which is a built-in box that you can connect to through Hackthebox. And then you just download the VPN package. So I downloaded that VPN and set it up on the virtual machine so that I can connect to it. So here I'm connecting to the virtual machine through SSH, and I can just start hacking my way into the lab. As you can see here, the entry point is the range of IP addresses that was provided in the lab section here. And let me tell you that the beginning was so entertaining. I won't spoil it for you, but I had to do some open source intelligence, craft a dropper that would bypass antivirus, and gain the initial foothold. I was thrilled when I saw the first beacons on Cobalt Strike. It reminded me of the first time I saw Windows prompt through a reverse shell some years ago. I knew there are flags spread across the lab. Matter of fact, there are 22 flags if you go to overview here. So I grabbed the ones I found on my first compromised machines. And from there, it was all Active Directory stuff I already knew, except that I had to bypass antivirus because I didn't have local privileges to maybe just disable it. And there were also few Linux boxes and exploit development challenge. But mostly I did things like enumerating the domain, abusing misconfigurations, acquiring new permissions and leveraging them to move laterally. After about 8 days, I got domain admin. I also liked how the lab contained both Linux and Windows boxes. But something was odd. I still haven't found half of the flags yet, and I'm already domain admin. What was going wrong here? And it turned out, and that's I think, a major drawback of the lab, people were leaving things behind that should not be accessible. They were weakening the boxes to get through after they'd escalated their privileges. They configured users with privileges they should not have, and therefore I ended up becoming domain admin using unintended paths. That's really unfortunate, especially that the lab offers so many diversified techniques that every red teamer should have. And when you collect all the flags, you get the certification. But collecting the flags the wrong way doesn't make sense, does it? On the other hand, resetting the lab would stop all the beacons, reverse shells, and persisted access. So I kind of understand why the lab does not get reset so often. There is still a button that players can use to vote for a lab reset, but rarely people vote. So you're kind of stuck there. My humble suggestion would be to create and run periodic scripts that would at least reset the permissions of the accounts and antivirus/firewalls to their initial state. The ideal would be to periodically reset the servers and continue adopting the voting system for workstations. I guess that would cut off so many unintended ways to compromise the lab. If you have any ideas on how to address this issue, please let me know in the comments below. In conclusion, I think that the lab is great and the path is full of diversified attack vectors, but if you can shortcut your way to domain admin, the whole lab kind of becomes useless. It loses its premise. So yeah, that's a major drawback I think should be fixed as soon as possible. Later, I discussed with a friend who did all the Hackthebox Red Team labs, and they too suffer from the same problem. So personally, until this is addressed, I don't think I will be attempting any of the remaining labs. For those who have done the lab, let me know in the comments below what were your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Until the next video, stay curious, keep learning, and go find some bugs.